Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or much good depending on your location. Please join in the struggle to liberate our people from the contraption. Like and share videos. News update. Tragedy struck in Anambra. 3 killed as story building collapses. Yes, now a 3-story building with a penthouse that is still under construction has collapsed in Ebu Umwenem. Ebu Umwenem is in Otolo Nnewi Community, that's Nnewi North local government area of Anambra State. Now reports state that the building collapsed at about 1 a.m. on Sunday. They said workers were getting ready to start plastering on the structure, so that is, the building is at this plastering level, a 3-story building. Yes, now 3 persons, they said a father and 2 of his sons, of course, were said to be among those to carry out work on the structure, and they were getting ready before the incident happened, and they died instantly. They said there are others who sustained varying degrees of injuries, and they have been taken to St. Philip's Hospital, that is in Nnewi there. Okay, now these people, they came from Nimo. This man and his children, they came from Nimo community, and they were sleeping over so that they will begin their work early in the morning before this incident happened. All right, that's what the eyewitness said. But they say some officials of the council, those who say they are regulating engineering work in Nigeria, okay, the people in Anambra, they say their own chapter in Anambra, Council for Regulating for Engineering or whatever. They say their chairman is Victor Meju, in the company of the Traditional Committee chairman of Nnewi North, LGA, Chris Obiora. They said they've stayed the scene, and when they arrived, they said they saw the manual laborers were there on a rescue mission. Manual laborers were doing rescue mission in such an incident. I've seen what is happening in the contraption. Now let me shock you more. They said the excavator brought to rescue the victims broke down at the site. That's why the laborers were doing it manually. They brought the excavator and it broke down immediately. The thing never do any work side before it broke down. So that is the contraption. That is the system. It is rot, smelling, oozing out offensive odor. They have destroyed the contraption completely. Yes. And now, so look. The incident happened, they said, because of the poor foundation, poor concrete mixture, poor quality of materials, poor wearing cost capacity, non-conformity to standards, non-approval from relevant regulatory authorities. They said this led to the collapse of the building. You have seen everything is poor. Everything there is poor this, poor that. So what is happening? It shows that there's nobody regulating anything in the contraption. Yes, look at it, from poor foundation, poor concrete mixture, poor quality of materials, poor wearing cost capacity. You see them? The contraption is dead completely. Nothing is happening. Let us see what the Traditional Committee chairman is saying. They said, so while reacting, the TC chairman called on people to always make use of certified engineers and other relevant personnel in the building sector for their construction works. Now, the sectoral head of Comunity, in charge of Nnewi and environs, he said, that's Arin Zekwosa, said his team observed a lot of foul plays in the course of carrying out their job. They are calling for government intervention to forestall future occurrences. You have seen it. What the police is saying now, the police DSP in Anambra State, of course you know him, Tochukwu Ikenga, he said they are yet to do what? To respond to whatever that happened there. Upon this moment, something that happened, 1 a.m., and they are yet to respond to what happened, that place. Police, they're supposed to be there when this thing happened. So all these things that are showing that the contraption is in failed state. All right? Yes, completely failed. There are indications of a failed nation. The country is not moving forward. The country is not either stagnant, it's retrogressing backward. A step forward, 20 steps backward. That's what it is doing. No human being will survive in this contraption if it continues this way in the next 20, 30 years. I just tell you, no human being, if you survive here in the next 20, 30 years in this contraption, it then means you are not a human being. You are mortal. Because what is happening to you as a human being here, you are bearing and enduring, and you are suffocated. How much more as it increases by the day in the next 20 years? Have you imagined what it would like, what it will look like by then? So that is why we are calling our people. All these things have shown you that here is not where you're supposed to stay, and wish for a future for your children to be here. That's why every Tom, Dick, and Harry in Biafra land is supposed to rise up to the occasion and demand for freedom. The first step being the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The second being the referendum. That is it. So anybody telling you another thing, don't listen to them. They don't have no plan to better this country. They are looting it. They are destroying it more. We are saying this because there are instant building collapse in the southeast. One happened in Enugu last week. Yes, a story building collapse, and people were killed in that place. Just not up to 1 week. Another one happened in Anambra. So it's becoming a reoccurring decimal. In recent times, this collapse of building, and we have seen what is causing it. There's no presence of government anywhere. What government is doing here is to wait for federal allocation. That's state governments. They're waiting for federal allocations to come, and they will go to markets and chase people to give them their tax. That is to pay rent. They will send their boys to the streets to hold people, motorists, motorcycles, bicycle people, to give them money. Okay? Double taxation. They've been intimidating people, harassing them, road users, thugs, aboros. So after collecting the money, they will divert it to the public, to their private pockets. That's all. They will give civil servants peanuts, and they will take the other ones. They will divert it to their private pockets. There are people who are using it all to maintain their girlfriends, their concubines, their allies, their friends. Some go to abroad, they throw party with people's resources and money. They travel to Europe and Americas, where they throw party with their friends and allies. Some go to Abuja, they share dollars to the northerners. Their majority is there. They will share dollars to them. Whereas the people who own the money languish in poverty and in penury in the eastern part of the country and southern part of the country, if you like. Yes, so that is what is happening. That is why you see this kind of thing is happening in a situation like this. That's why we are calling them out. Enough of this building collapse. You are killing the people through many means. This one, nowhere. We have been saying it. Enough of these killings in diverse ways. Tomorrow now they'll be quick to say, oh, the ESN. This one, government is killing people. Manslaughter. When you are not doing your responsibility, you are entrusted, the people entrusted you to do this job. Yes, to protect lives and property. And you are allowing them to die in this way. It's not going to be tolerated, accommodated. That's why we are calling our people to understand that here is not a place for them. The contraption is a failed state. It has been